Hello, ladies and gentlemen, nerds of all ages, shapes, and sizes. For those of you who don't know me, and I'd imagine that has got to be the majority of you by now, I'm one of the nerds behind the curtain here at the ShoddyCast. There's a lot of us, nameless, faceless people who work hard so that this guy can do and say things. And every now and then I get to crawl out of the internet coal mines to chat with you guys. And today, I wanted to talk to you about this. On November 10th, two things happened. Fallout 4 was released and the ShoddyCast hit 500,000 subscribers. It's a day that's going to live long in my memory personally, so thanks for being a part of it. For this special occasion, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to teach you guys the origin story, the lore behind the ShoddyCast. But as you all know, to get to the heart of this story, well, we'll have to go back to the beginning. This is me in 2008. 2008 was an important year. It was the year I discovered a game called Oblivion. Oblivion was the first single-player RPG I had ever experienced. Yes, I was a latecomer to the genre, and I'll tell you what, it just clicked right away. It just worked. The many hours I would spend playing this game would help give birth to the channel you're watching now, but more on that later. For now, the important thing to note is that I was a huge nerd as a kid, and Bethesda games were more than a hobby. They were a drug, an addiction. You see, I was saving empires and joining dark brotherhoods, and as I get older now, my free time erodes more and more. And when I look back at those days I spent in Oblivion, I have nothing but fond memories. RPGs like The Elder Scrolls, The Witcher, and Mass Effect, they were my childhood. Years went by, and after I graduated high school, I became roommates with my brother Kyle, a nerd of equal proportions.
The history of the ShoddyCast actually starts with another channel that was sadly doomed from the start. Josh and I planned to create a daily Skyrim show on YouTube, but eventually that channel soon died as a result of copyright strikes made against us. Our dreams of starting a YouTube channel as a hobby and potential side job was laid to rest. That wasn't until Guild Wars 2 came into focus. Few remember this now, but the ShoddyCast didn't start as a channel for RPGs, it started as a channel for MMOs. I was a diehard fan of the MMO genre, and when Josh suggested we try YouTube again, I was immediately convinced that this time we'd pull through. So we created a new channel, but it needed a name. A name that would show that we didn't take ourselves completely seriously, so we decided it would be fun to have a name that would hopefully become ironic over time as the channel grew to be great.
We posted our first ShoddyCast video on September 7th, 2012. And while I hesitate to show it to you, it went something like this. Alright, welcome to the ShoddyCast, our first ever real episode, if that's what you can call it.
It's gonna be great.
Yes, it's gonna be amazing. Alright, so just to introduce your hosts here, we have Josh, aka Radon. And you can call me your thief extraordinaire.
And I'm Kyle, aka Totally Crewless, and just call me a necromancer, please.
And we're brothers.
Yep, we're brothers.
Alright, so we're just going to start this video off with some, well, the series, I guess, off with some PvE Guild Wars footage. If you're more interested in PvP's more your style, we're going to have some videos up on that. You can just check the description for links to there. Like most YouTubers, when Kyle and I look back at our earlier videos, we freaking cringe, but they were important lessons for us. We quickly learned that YouTube didn't need more Let's Players, and that was a good thing, because my brother and I aren't particularly funny or entertaining guys. We're gamers, and like most gamers, we tend to be more analytical and, introverted. Our most popular videos quickly became the ones that were planned out and outlined in detail. This should serve as a ray of hope for any of you thinking about starting your own YouTube channel one day. You see, thoughtful videos are in short supply on this platform, so if you take the time to make something more polished or thought-provoking, you tend to stand out. Basically what I'm saying is, YouTube has enough extroverted PewDiePie types. The moment my brother and I stepped away from Let's Plays, we found an audience that was more mature. And to this day, the average viewer on the channel is in their 20s or 30s, a statistic we're very proud of.
We've had the pleasure of featuring some of the biggest names in RPGs, including Mark Meir, Brian Fargo, Chris Avalon, and Wes Johnson, but it definitely didn't start that way. Before all that, we were just two brothers and a microphone. Josh was the kind of guy who read every book he could find in any given RPG, and me, I loved playing around with the console commands. Between the two of us, we started producing a series of videos that would one day put us on the YouTube map, Elder Scrolls Lore. It was a series dedicated to the study of the TES universe.
Just like a good book, when an RPG does its job right, it has a way of transporting you to another world. It's the nerdiest thing I'll ever say, but it's true. If you want a better gaming experience, try studying lore. Knowing the lore and backstory of a universe enhances your immersion. Nothing makes a more complete experience than a well-thought-out setting or story. I play games to escape the mundane. I play games so that I can suspend my disbelief for just a little while and walk in another man's shoes. That is what it is to be a role-playing fan, and this is what we wanted to share with the introduction of the Elder Scrolls Lore series. Our mission with the first episode of Elder Scrolls Lore was simple: to spread the love of lore to the masses, infect gamers with the lore virus, if you will.
Once Elder Scrolls Lore took off, my brother and I knew we had something special. People weren't only watching it, they were actually offering donations to help us make more. The logical step was to bring our lore series format to another Bethesda game. But there was only one problem: we were just too busy making Elder Scrolls videos. Josh and I both had jobs outside of YouTube, and we still do. If we were going to expand the channel, we were going to need to build a team.
I would say there's only one thing in this life that I like more than video games, and that's building teams of like-minded people. Bringing talented people together to work towards a common goal is what spawns great projects. The internet is teeming with undiscovered talent, people who are overflowing with creative energy and only need a platform or a soapbox to showcase it to the world. The ShoddyCast was finally going to live up to its name and become a cast of people rather than a fun side project shared between two brothers. Using every dollar you guys donated to us, we found the very best people we could to create a Fallout lore series: Charles Battersby, Tommy Watson, and Jason Dameron, a writer, a machinima artist, and a narrator. This was the first show we introduced to the channel where Kyle and I served more as facilitators. I would outline the show and give direction throughout the process. Kyle would take care of stuff on the back end, but the team would carry it the rest of the way.
The first episode of Fallout Lore was posted on November 15th, 2013. Some people said they didn't like the new show because it had a different narrator. But man, am I glad we didn't listen to him, because Jason's voice would become so iconic to the show's success that we would eventually christen him the storyteller. Later, we renamed Fallout Lore to help differentiate it from all the other lore shows out there. Now we simply call it the storyteller.
An average episode of The Storyteller takes dozens upon dozens of hours to produce, and that's because of all the research and visuals that go into it. Tommy proudly boasts that he has racked over 2,000 hours into Fallout New Vegas, filming various scenes for the show. Clearly, he's freaking crazy, and thanks to your continued support, we were able to hire another crazy person, Ben, who joined the team a couple months ago. He helped us take The Storyteller from a bi-weekly show to a weekly one. At the moment, this team is taking a well-deserved break to play Fallout 4.
In continuing our mission to spread the love of lore to the masses, we produced two other YouTube series you should definitely check out: Dragon Age Lore and Witcher Lore. If you're a fan of Fallout, the Witcher lore series is one you won't want to miss. Thanks to our Patreon donors, we were able to hire Eric Todd Dillams, the voice of Three Dog, to narrate that one.
For those of us who like to study lore, it's no secret that our favorite stories, locations, and characters are all inspired by something in history or literature. Video game developers are huge nerds themselves, and they like reminding us this by building their stories around historical themes or pop culture references. Hidden History is a show that explores this, and it first garnered attention when we got the Commander Shepard to voice an episode. Austin Horrigan and Graham Blackaby are the two guys responsible for bringing you that show each and every week.
Oh, that Austin Horrigan. He's been such a dedicated creator here on the ShoddyCast that he has recently joined us full-time, so you will be hearing much more from him in the coming months.
So that, boys and girls, brings us to today. As you've seen over the course of this video, the ShoddyCast has morphed into something a little different from the Let's Play channel it started as. It's become something of a mouthpiece for us, a means of expression. So yes, thank you for being a part of our first 500,000 subscribers, and I hope you'll stick around for the next 500,000. If you'd like to get involved with what we're doing here, we could always use help in the usual ways. You know, simply by watching our videos like you're doing right now helps contribute to our channel. The more views we get, the more sponsors we attract, which means more money for voice actors, creators, and artists. If you'd like to go above and beyond the Call of Duty, we do have a Patreon page where you can pledge as little as $1 a month for some sweet rewards and bonuses. Totally optional and much appreciated. If you'd like to become a creator here on the ShoddyCast, we do have job openings. We're always looking for like-minded people to join our ragtag team of nerds, so if you think you'd be a good fit, feel free to fire us over an email. I would ask in your email if you would please include a list of your various talents and abilities. That would certainly help. If you want a real shot at working with us, you'll also want to include samples of your work. We especially love people who have posted videos to YouTube in the past, so please include links to those if you have them. You can send your emails to noreply@shoddycast.com. Now, since we do get a lot of traffic at this email address, as the name suggests, we don't actually reply to each one, but rest assured that I do read each and every email sent to this address. You'll be added to a contact list, and you'll be notified once we have a job opening that might suit your unique skill set. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time to join us here and learn a little history about the folks making these silly videos. I've been Josh.
And I've been Kyle.
We'll catch you later.
Boy.